Hello, welcome to Earrings Off. I'm Lou.
And I'm Teresa. Let's get started.
Tell
Lou,
us,
what's up?
tell us about your week. How's it going?
Oh man, I've had quite the week. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but I've been sick.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't usually get sick.
No,
So
you
this is
don't.
kind of taking the wind out of my sail. So, church on Sunday started, my nose was congested, and typically I just take out a little bit of peppermint essential oil and just sniff it. That's it,
Mm-hmm.
But I went as far as um, actually putting it in my nose to try to
Really?
loosen up the congestion,
Mm-hmm.
and it didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
And I just went downhill from there. And
Really? What do you mean by downhill? What
I
were you
got
feeling?
I don't think I ever went as bad as having a fever.
Mm-hmm.
At least I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't take my temperature to see that I had a fever, but I can tell you it was I've been completely at times congested where I felt a little bit nervous about it
Mm-hmm.
because I had no choice but to breathe through my mouth,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
which is quite uncomfortable,
Right,
right?
right, right.
So so that's what I had to deal with. I had the good fortune of Robert making me some soup, and he put in that soup some chunks of ginger, like
Mm-hmm.
fresh ginger. And when I ate that Monday night, it literally, I felt myself open up.
So from the ginger.
From the ginger, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
But you had homemade chicken soup.
It wasn't chicken soup; it was vegetable soup
Okay, homemade
with
vegetable.
with it had I can tell you what it had in it. It had uh, Brussels sprouts, the ginger chunks, onions, and broccoli. I mean, I think he just opened the refrigerator and threw
Uh-huh.
everything in the pot that
Mm-hmm.
we had
Mm-hmm.
in there. It had a little bit of everything. It had
Mm-hmm.
peas in it, even.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and what he did was it made quite a base,
Mm-hmm.
and he just added more vegetables to it. And literally, I had it again. I've
Mm-hmm.
been having it all week for dinner,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and it seems as long as I'm eating it, I'm perfectly fine.
Really?
Yeah, it's so good. And I've been drinking
Mm-hmm.
ginger tea, like fresh ginger tea
Mm-hmm.
with lime in it and honey.
Mm-hmm.
That's been helpful too. I haven't taken any cold medicine. In fact, I was better yesterday, but somehow I woke up congested again this morning.
But you've been taking vitamin C this week?
And vitamin C.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, when you told me that, you had something, I
Yeah.
immediately went to making sure that I took some vitamin C, and I tried to go to Bikram a bit more, Bikram
Yeah.
yoga, to make sure that I
Sweated it
would
out.
sweat anything out if I picked up any of that nasty stuff.
So I went to work out.
You did?
I did. Actually, a few times. The first day was Tuesday morning. I had a conference, and I went to the gym, and I went to ride the bike,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't have the energy.
Really?
I started out with the treadmill,
Uh-huh.
and I didn't have the energy to do the treadmill, so then I went to the bike. I ended up getting a 30-minute cardio in,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but it was very tough.
Really?
And then that was Tuesday, and then Wednesday I did the same thing, and I actually took a cycling class on Thursday morning, and I completed it. It was 45
Whoa.
minutes.
Oh, that cycling intimidates me so
Let me
much.
tell
I
you
want to
something.
do
That
it,
was
but
my
it
first
just
time.
looks too intense.
It was my first time. This young lady in the locker room convinced
How
me to
long
do
was
it.
the class?
It's 45 minutes.
Mm.
And when I tell you, I mean, it wasn't, I mean, I got through the class.
Uh-huh.
The teacher first, when I walked in, he said, all new people have to get in the front row.
Right. Yeah.
That was bad.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be in the front row, but I did it. But then they did it with the lights out, so
Okay,
I felt
yeah,
better. I wasn't embarrassed, but
Yeah.
I did it. I mean,
That's good
I was
stuff.
very proud of myself that I did. I actually felt better.
Mhm.
This cold has me up and down. I did the
Right.
class, and I felt no pain until late that evening,
Mhm.
and it felt like that seat was still stuck in my butt.
Yeah. That's a hard seat. It's a hard seat.
It's
yeah.
a hard seat, and it's tiny.
Yeah.
It's so tiny. And I tell you, as long as I was sitting and riding, and you climb, you constantly are
Right,
increasing the
yeah.
resistance. I was fine, but when you had to stand and ride,
Mhm.
and then to climb, That was the hardest part.
But did you feel better in terms of the cold or whatever you
Well,
picked
yeah.
up? Yeah.
Tuesday, I would have not been able to get through that.
Okay.
You know, so but I felt winded even today going up and down the stairs in my house.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost like this cold it's like I'm gone and then I'm back.
Yeah,
like today.
Yeah. Well, that's what they say. But let me tell you, you would have been proud of me. I tried something different. Remember you were talking about the intermittent fasting?
Yes.
And so, I learned during that episode that when I get up and I have the coffee and put the sugar in it, apparently that breaks the fast, and that's part of the challenge. Well, this week I didn't do that. I just didn't have anything. I was all out hungry after yoga.
Yeah.
But I just said, okay, just drink water. You could eat after 12. And so that's what I did. And I actually did it. I think I did it about 3 days. Mm-hmm. So I was just amazed I didn't die, because I thought surely I was going to before I tried it. I was like, I am so hungry. But this time I just drank water and just talked myself through it, saying, you'll be fine. You can eat after that. But I told you, when I go to yoga, I am famished after.
Yeah.
And I think it must have been a psychological thing, because I did the same 90-minute class and I made it. So
that's awesome, Lou. I'm so happy for you.
But listen,
now, what about the cutoff time?
I made sure that I was done eating, I think, by 8. Was that too long?
No.
Yeah. I finished by 8. And really, in one of those days, I went to the gym. I did a cardio workout in the evening. And so I ended a little later, but I was done by then.
Yeah.
But listen, did you see the news this week about T.I.? The rapper?
I didn't. I heard about it.
Yeah.
I know. Isn't that crazy?
I mean, I cannot believe that.
I don't believe it.
Yeah.
I hope he was kidding.
I don't know.
I don't know,
Teresa.
I want to know where his wife is in all of this.
Well, I don't know.
Why she would allow such a thing.
Well, I don't know, but it doesn't seem like he was joking. But that goes back to the earlier episode we did about women being, still in 2019 being thought of as property and without having a voice. And even if it is your child, these young boys aren't held to that kind of standard. And I know everybody wants what's best for their child, and we all parent differently. But that was just jarring for me to hear.
Me too. Now, does he have sons?
I don't know.
And how is he treating them?
I don't know. But sometimes there's always that double standard. Men, particularly with the boys, it's like, good job. That's what we want you to do. But
and my dad was crazy, but he wasn't that crazy.
Yeah.
And there was definitely a double standard in my house.
Really?
Absolutely, there was. At 16, I got my own car, but I had to drive my brother, who's younger, around.
Yeah.
And once he turned 16, and I couldn't go anywhere after it was dark.
Mm-hmm.
So that changed during the different seasons, right? But if it were dark outside, no matter whether it was winter or summer, you didn't go. You didn't leave the house.
Yeah.
And but my brother would be able to get the keys and go anywhere at any time, even at 16.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't go anywhere, and it just wasn't fair. And I, to this day, don't have a key to my mom's house, or at the time they never gave me a key.
Really? Your brothers have a key?
My brothers all have keys. My brothers all have keys to my mom's house now. I don't know what that's about, but
wow.
Yeah.
Mom, we got to work on that. That's an issue.
It is an issue. But even once I was in college and I most certainly could stay out past midnight, my dad would sit up in the front room.
But not for your brothers, just for you.
Never for them. Yeah. Always for me. I knew I would have to ring that doorbell to get in the house.
Sounds like you might have been a bit of a hellion. I don't know.
I'm
just guessing.
No, honestly, not at all. I was too afraid to be.
Yeah, I know, right?
Honestly, too afraid to be. And in a small town, I tell you, this one time, the thing was no one was ever to drive my car. Went to a party, and it was a pool party, and I actually was in the pool, and somebody wanted to leave, and I had someone get my keys, a guy, get my keys and move my car so someone could get out. And in that second, someone saw him behind the wheel in my car and called my father.
Yeah.
It's a small town.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And
that's the village, Teresa. It's the village. Yeah.
And then I got home and man, they were waiting on me. They chewed me. Who was driving your car? And blah, blah, blah. Give us the keys. And blah, blah, blah. I'm like, hey, I
Yeah.
did not allow anyone to drive my car. And I couldn't even remember that
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah.
And then it came to me. And I was like, hey, this is what happened. And this is because I didn't allow
Right.
anyone to drive my car
Right.
just to move it.
But I mean, still though, I mean that was years ago. But here we're still looking at something as jarring as that
That
interview
is,
to
whew,
say, "Wow,
that is
that's
crazy.
amazing stuff." So,
Yeah, I wonder
in
even what the context of the conversation
I don't
was.
know because I went on the site
Yeah.
to see if I could actually see the broadcast, the podcast, and I couldn't see it. So I don't know if they've taken it down, deleted it, or what. But from the accounts that I've read, it appears to be accurate. But of course, I'm
Wow.
like you. I hope not. And of course, the big event this week was just the voting on Tuesday.
That's right.
Yeah, yeah. I was out.
Democrats rule
Yeah, I tell
in
you, it was.
Virginia.
Yeah, it was exciting. I was out there at like 6 in the morning. Yeah, yeah.
I voted. Um, I voted after in the evening
Yeah.
on Tuesday.
Yeah.
After work is
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say. I don't know why I'm losing that thought, but surprisingly for me, there were no lines. I
Yeah.
was expecting. I prefer to vote early morning.
Yeah.
To get it over with.
Yeah.
But I was expecting to have to wait in a long line and all that. There was none.
Yeah.
But what the pollsters told me was that, I don't know if you call them pollsters, they're not. The people who work the poll.
Yeah.
What they told me was that I just missed a rush.
Oh, okay.
And but they had been pretty steady for the day. But I was super excited to vote. I'm always super excited to vote, and people who don't vote really upset me.
Yeah.
Because it's like people
especially now. Yeah, and especially now. But it was exciting, the news about Virginia. I'm just encouraged by seeing the way the Commonwealth is changing. So
a Muslim in the West End.
I tell you.
Female.
Yeah, yeah.
Can you
That's
believe that?
In the General Assembly here. Yeah, yeah. So it's big stuff. Yeah. So we are excited about it, and of course looking forward to 2020, the big one.
So what do you think it means?
Well, what do you mean? What?
So I heard.
You mean what it means in Virginia?
What it means overall to 2020, because what I heard was there was a professor who came to Dominion from U of R, no, maybe UVA. He came from somewhere, I don't remember exactly where, but he was saying how the way that Virginia went might have some implication as to how 2020 would look. Yeah. Especially because of that race at Virginia Beach, where it was definitely a female being supported by the nation running against a guy who was the incumbent.
Oh, I didn't hear about that.
Okay. Totally against guns. You know,
okay,
they had that shooting. Yeah. And she was running on gun control.
Okay.
And of course, you know, Virginia's big on guns. Right. And she actually won.
Okay. So, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I missed that. I was listening to a lot of the pundits that night. Yeah. In terms of what it means for the national election, I don't dare guess. I'm just so nervous, and you know, just trying to keep up with everything in terms of the different issues, and of course the impeachment and all of that, just on overload, trying to stay abreast of where we are as a nation. So it's exciting. So that's what we're talking about. We'll just all stay abreast, and even though you're feeling like you're on overload, just to stay committed to being educated and involved in the process. So again, we look forward to 2020, and that's our week. We are going to be recording about HR issues. That will be up next Sunday. So that's our first community table. We've been talking about it a bit. So we look forward to you joining us. Again, that's it for us today here at Earrings Off. And you know,
when we know better, we do better.
Thanks. Have a good day.